Hi everyone, welcome to JS Cafe, and in today's video we are going to solve a very interesting front-end interview question, that is DOM Finder. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So in this question you will be given two DOM structures. Particularly we have this structure starting with root A, and we have a nesting of divs. And in this nesting we can see that we have a div with id as node a, which has a value node a value, right? And similar to this structure, right, similar to this whole structure with root a, we have a similar structure root b, where we have the id as root b and the whole nesting is same as previous. It's just the value at this node a is which is node a value is replaced with a node b value, right? And one thing to note is that in this particular div we don't have any id like one we have for node a. So the goal of this question is, or the objective is, that you have to find this value of node b, given that you have symmetry between these two structures, and you have been given the id of the root of the original structure, and given the id of the value in the first one, right? So we have two ids, root a and root node a, in the first structure, and in the second structure you have the id only of the parent, which is the root b, and you don't have any id present on this particular div, and you have to find the value of this particular node. Okay, so I think the problem is pretty straightforward. You have two similar structures, one starting with root a, one starting with root b. Given you have a value of node a, and you have to find a value of node b. That is all we have to do. So given this, in this question there can be n number of symmetries possible, right? For example, we have only these many divs present in this particular example, and the interviewer might give you another structure to solve. So we have to make a generic solution that would work on every type of possible nesting and would give you the proper result irrespective of the structure. Now let's start coding. Okay, so what we have is, so we'll create our first initiator call. So that would be const find node value. Okay, and in this function, first of all we will get the references to root a, root b and node a. So we have root a as document dot get element by id as root a, we get root b as well, and we have const node a document dot get element id node a. So root a, root b and node a, root a, root b and node a. Okay, we got the IDs. Now we have to first of all find a path from this particular node till its parent. Forget this structure for now. So you have reference to this node, you have reference to this node. So we have to find a path starting from here all the way up to the parent. Why we are starting from bottom is that, for example, given you are very at the leaf position of a particular tree or a node, and all you can do is you'll have only one parent when you scroll up, right? Scroll up or move up. But I say that if I'm at this particular node, then there will be only one parent, which is with this particular div. Now if I want to move upward, then moving upward there would be only one particular div, that would be its parent. And if I move again upward, then this particular div is the parent, and again this div, and again this div, which is root a. which is not the case if we start our movement from top to bottom. For example, if I start from here, since I have only one div, okay, if I start from the bottom, then I have choices that our node value can lie either here or over here. We are not sure, so we'll be stuck in a dilemma over there. So it's better to start your position from the child and then move upwards, so that you have a particular context of path. I have to start from here, then I have to move to this child, then this child, and this child, and so on, right? So what I'll do is I'll create a function to get a path, and this would be get path from child to parent. Okay, and in this I'll pass the parent as root a, and the child would be node a. Now let's create this function. Const get path from child to parent. We have a parent and we have a child. Okay, now what I have to do is that I have to start from child and I have to move up to the parent. So I'll call my current node. Let's say I have a current node as the child. I'm starting from here. Okay, and when I'm starting from here, I have to make sure that while my current node becomes the parent, right? As soon as my current node is moving upward, it becomes this, it becomes this, it becomes this, it becomes this, and finally it becomes the parent. So my iteration will start from here up till here, up till the current node becomes the parent. Okay, up till my node becomes root a. So this is the condition over here, that while current node is not equal to parent. Okay, now what I have to do is I have to get the parent of the current node, right? The aim is to move upwards. So if I am at this particular node, then I have to get the parent which in this case is this particular div. So the code to get the parent is const parent element is current node dot parent element. Okay, so by this line, a current node dot parent element, you will have the reference to the parent of this particular node. Okay, now once I am over here, right, or for example at any given iteration I am over here and I came from this particular node, I came from this particular node to this particular node. Okay, so when I'm at this particular node, I'm not sure I came from this div or this div. This can be only achieved if I get the children of this particular div, which in this case is two children. One is this div, one is this particular div, and usme se, and in that particular array of children I get to find child which I came from, right? So my current node is this, my parent is this, and I have to find the path whether I have taken the 0th children or I have taken the first children. Okay, 0th, like since the children would be an array, then the count starts from 0 over here. So when I am at this particular parent, then whether I have taken the 0th child or the first child, that can be only be found if I create an array of children of this particular parent element, and in that particular array I find what is the index of my current node. Current node is this, which is a child, right? So this is what we have to do over here. First of all, I'll have to create a children's array. So I'll create a const and name it as children array, and I'll write array dot from parent element dot children. if I so array is very important in this case, because if we don't create array, then the overall structure or the return value would be something else. So we need to create an array from that, and in that particular array, now we will, what we'll do is we'll find the index of the current node, and that is our path of starting from the bottom till upwards. So we also have to create an array of paths. So I'll create a const path array, and this is an empty array, and in this path array what I'll do is I'll just push path array dot push children array dot index of current node. This is it, and I'll just return path array. Okay, so I get the path array over here, and what I need to do is I need to return get value from path. Okay, this will get this function जिसमें will pass the parent and will pass the path, and we will create a function that will follow this path starting from this parent, and will reach that particular node which you want to find, and will return out the value. So we'll create this function const get value from path equals to parent comma path, and इसमें से we have let current node equals to parent, and while I'll iterate while this path is not empty. So while path dot length is there, what I have to do is my current node would be current node dot children. ठीक है, in children I get the values, और children's में से what I do is path dot pop, and at the very last we'll return current node dot inner text. ठीक है, this looks fine to me, and what all I have to do is find a node value. I have to console.log find node value. Okay, there's some issue. Okay, so in this line we didn't updated the current node. So current node equals to parent element. Cannot read property 0 of undefined. Okay, let us check. The error is okay over here. This is the error. Okay, children path dot pop. Okay, let us check if the path is correct. The path is 01100. Okay, okay. Path dot pop 0 current node dot children. Oh, I called it a parent. Okay, so parent would be root B. Okay, just call it and skip it. Okay, here we go. So we got the value node b value. Okay. So this was the part over here. So what we did is get value from path mein. What we did is we got the parent and we have to perform these. We have to track this part down to the child and we have to return the value of inner text. So what we did is path mein, since we started from the very bottom, we start pushing the elements. So the element at the very right, at the very end of the array would be the path that the parent has to begin first. So while we are popping the path, so this will give us the index that the first parent has to move, right? Once we get that, all we did was we updated our current node until the path array becomes empty. When the path array becomes empty, the length becomes 0. Then we just when the array becomes 0, we just simply return whatever the current node is which we are present. We just return the value of inner text, and in this case the value was this node b value. Okay. So this is how we did. What we did was we tracked the part from node A to root A. We stored the part into the array, and when we called another function which was get value from path, we started from parent, we had the part, and we just tracked the path down to the node. This is what we did, and this solution can be applied on any type of structure or the node DOM given to you, and this is a universal solution. So this is one of the most frequently asked question in the front-end interviews, and it is really hot topic. Like don't find a question you'll probably find in one of the FANG interview questions, or probably some in very good companies. And this is really tricky if someone is not familiar how to traverse a DOM and how to play with the parent element and children. Then it would be difficult for him or her to solve that question. But since we have covered this topic now, I hope this question is become super clear to you. I try to explain the things and the behind the scenes. And if you have any questions or queries, then do let me know in the comments. I'll try to answer your queries as soon as possible. So this was all in this video. See you in the next one.